Raise your hand if you've been feeling pretty hopeless about what the future holds for you. Now, hopefully not too many of you raised your hands, but as someone who's a year away from turning 30, I've been having to come to terms with a lot of things that I don't like. I'm never going to be a homeowner. I'm going to be trapped in the cycle of renting for the rest of my life. I'm never going to be able to have kids because they are far too expensive. My future is always going to be paycheck to paycheck, no matter how much I save. I'm absolutely never going to have a retirement fund, whatever that means. Speaking of which, I'm not saying that you should, drop out of school, but if I would have known how irrelevant high school was going to be in adulthood, I probably would have dropped out. I don't think I've used a single thing I've learned from high school in my adult life. Yay, I know that y equals mx plus b. Really wish I knew how to take out a loan, or file for bankruptcy, or do literally anything financial in the adult world. But at least I built character from being bullied. Speaking of loans and whatnot, I just paid off my car last year, and in my mind I'm like, oh yay, we'll have some extra money. Until you remember that you have to pay a $400 property tax every freaking year. And then of course you have all the upkeep expenses, and speaking of that, let's talk about insurance. One of the most normalized scams in this country. How am I going to pay over $100 a month for insurance on my car, but then when something happens, they won't pay for a thing unless the cost is over $500 that I cover? A truck kicked up a rock at my windshield and I had to replace it with my own money because it was under $500. And then your rates go up, even though you did nothing wrong, and you've been paying them thousands of dollars for years. I love this country so much, because unless you are born into wealth, you have almost no chance of getting anywhere. It's either be born into wealth or get super lucky with meeting the right connections. And I'm so tired of this whole pull yourself up by the bootstraps or whatever they say. I worked 40 to 80 hours a week for 5 years. 5 years straight, no break. And I got nowhere. This is not how life is supposed to be. The rich run everything, and then you have poor people defending them. Y'all are so upset about a tax increase on the rich, as if the $40K that you're making is going to be affected in any way. And let's talk about taxes. Why are we all so okay with the government taking so much of our money and not representing us whatsoever? Not doing their jobs at all. And I know I'm just ranting in this video, and we'll get back to our normal videos very soon. But I'm just so frustrated, and I hate not being able to see a future. Just everything in this country is set up so horribly, it all just feels like a scam. Capitalism is such a cute idea on paper, but it's not working.
Living on $1,200 a month should be outlawed. The very fact that there are people in America in 2024 that's living on $1,200 a month and that's all that they get is absolutely insane to me. But it's only one way they're doing it, and I'm going to tell you about how. The income that people are receiving for $1,200 a month is Social Security. And according to this article, they're saying that Social Security is expected to run out in 2035. Now, while that sounds like a long time away, I remember when I was a kid, and I used to see on the news, because my grandma would always watch the news, I remember they would be on TV and the Republicans would be like, you guys better stop your spending and be more responsible, talking to Congress, and they would be like, you guys you're mortgaging our kids' future. And I was thinking to myself, oh, okay, well, the future is now. I'm the kid, clearly. But the people that are receiving Social Security that's only getting $1,200 a month are managing to live because of one reason. Now, I hate to state the obvious, but y'all, they're homeowners. And I know it's really cool right now to get on the internet and talk about, oh, well, it'll never be your house if you gotta have property taxes and you gotta pay insurance. It's ridiculous. Well, baby, let me tell you something. If I was making $1,200 a month, I would definitely be more comfortable spending $300 a month on property taxes than $2,000 or more on principal, interest, taxes, and insurance if I buy a house late in life and or rent. So America was built on this promise that if you work for so many years, you were supposed to end up getting 3 things when you retire: pension, 401k, and Social Security. Well, pension ain't really a thing no more. 401k is kind of hit or miss now. So then that leaves Social Security, which goes back to the $1,200 a month that I was talking about. Now, I don't know if y'all know how much Social Security is, but that's really seriously a real number. It's hardly ever $2,000 a month. But the other part of that was, one, you're supposed to have a paid off house. So that was going to drastically reduce your expenses. And the other part that people still don't talk about is the fact that you were supposed to be sharing all of these bills and debt with a spouse. Because when your spouse dies, you get their Social Security. So anyway, I say all of that to say, what is your plan? And when I say what is your plan, I say so very seriously, because I get it. When you 25, 30, you might not see it. But when you hit 41 and you don't own no house, 51, you don't own no house, 61, and you don't own a house. Like, how are you going to seriously afford your life if you can't even scrape up money for a down payment?
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Just hope that you're doing fine wherever you are today. This is your host Eugene Duck Stories, and I hope you're just doing fine. So people are waking up to the realization that what America promised them, it's not what it's delivering. The illusion that the American dream left a lot of people. Right now we are seeing people suffering, people complaining about how it's so unbearable for them to even have 2 meals in a day. It's hard for them to do certain activities that they used to do. Now, the small group of people which are making people suffer, I'm talking about the elites. These people are making it so unbearable for the majority of the people. And history has it that they will always create a divide in a society. So after creating the divide in a society, while you are not focusing on fundamental things that are affecting you, they start exploiting you. That's where they start from. Now, the American dream probably promised people a number of things. People were, I don't know if I'll say, we were also played about the American dream, because black people, especially black soldiers who went to the World War II, they went and fought for the country, fought for the United States of America. They were told that if you come back, we'll give you your piece of land, you'll be receiving your money, your social security, and everything. But when they came back to nothing. They were taken to squatters. That's how America works. You're being played, and then they sell to you an illusion. Then you buy the illusion. After buying the illusion, that's when you realize that, oh damn, I was being played. And right now, this is what is really happening right now today. You are seeing people who are sad, a majority of young group who doesn't want to go to work, because even if you're going to work, the amount of money that you're working for doesn't sustain you, doesn't get you what you want, So it's really hard, and it's at the hard time that people are existing. So the question is, how are you going to survive in this hard time? I want us to watch these videos. They are going to authenticate what it's called modern slavery, modern suffering. Capitalism has really failed. I'm not supporting socialism or something, but hey, listen. The elites has played a lot of people, so many across the world. Now, the loud bang, it's in the United States. It's not inflation. The elections are coming, and most definitely a lot of things are happening in these places. I want us to watch this video. I'll be back. I'll be giving you my commentary and try to say 1, 2, 3 that I believe that can help what is important. Let's dive right into the video.
This is slavery. They just let us watch TV when we're done with our day's work. This is slavery. We just have the choice of Pizza Hut and Taco Bell and Burger King. This is slavery times 2. Not only do they make a majority of the money off of your labor, you go and spend your slavery bucks and they make double on the products that you buy. A car loan, a loan for your college education, a loan for your home. This is fucking slavery, you guys. They got people slaving so hard they're developing mental health problems, and guess who gets to profit when those people seek help? Not us. It's slavery. It's slavery, but the white people are in the house. They're close to the massa. The rest of us are out in the field. And don't get it wrong, some of them come out of the house and go out into the fields, and some of them in the fields go into the house. Everyone's always banging so hard for capitalism, but it's just slavery, you guys. It's just slavery.
Does anyone else find it so unsettling and gross and weird that the only people working on Labor Day are actual laborers? The majority of people that have the time off are like sit on your ass white collar office workers. And I say that as a sit on your ass white collar office worker, like it's not labor. And not only that, it's like, okay, now all of these white collar workers have the day off, and now they're gonna go flood the brunch places and flood the bars and flood the places that all of the blue collar and like service workers are. And now like Labor Day is not only not a day off, but it's like harder and more work than a normal day. I worked in food service for 10 years and Labor Day always sucked. It was like so exhausting, and I'd leave like with no soul in my body. Also, you just know that there's like some crusty ass dude in a button down who's going to brunch today and not tipping their server. And that is like just so, it's crazy. Like, have you no shame? What?
Nobody talks about how hard it is to want to be successful and not know what at. Like, I feel like I have so many different talents. There's so many things that I'm good at. There's nothing that I've tried that I haven't excelled in. But that's what makes it 10 times harder for me to commit to something to do long term. And the worst part about that is when, like, older people, they ask, like, oh, so what is it that you want to do for work? What is it that you're working towards? Barbara, I don't know. I don't know. And unless you're going to give me a new job, don't ask any questions until I have it figured out, because I can't help but feel like it's a jab. Like, oh, you still don't have it. You still. No, I don't, actually. Like, at this point, I just want the bag until I figure it out. And if you're not going to help me figure it out, don't ask. And I don't know if maybe there's like a level of insecurity that's rooted in the way that I feel. But I just feel like at this point, we're getting to a place where I feel like people should know how to read the room. You know that I have not been saying like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, those have not been the conversations that have been circulating. So every time I get asked, if I don't tell you, don't assume that I have it together, because I will let you know, because I'd be happy to have it together when I do have it together. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's just like, it's hard. Like, it's hard already trying to figure it out, and it doesn't help when people try to put pressure on you to figure it out, because it's like, but you don't think I think about this every day? No shade, I didn't mean to use the B word, but like,
There is no greater frustration than the knowing that money is not real. That money is a figment of our f***ing imagination, that it's not even backed by gold. It is fiat currency. It is pulled out of thin air, yet it is this insanely powerful force over my life. And it has the ability to, unlike anyone or anything else on this planet, nothing can trigger me more than money. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about this literal imaginary thing that we have made up as a collective species being something that holds so much of us back from our fullest potential, holds so much of us back into the space of being deeply oppressed, holds so much of us back into this emotional space of unworthiness? What the actual is this witchcraft? What is this sorcery? Who is the one doing it? Because I have a bone to pick with you. I am tired.
It just feels so dumb. I feel like I'm fighting with an imaginary monster, and I keep losing, and it's embarrassing.
If you ain't making more than $100,000 at your job, why are you ironing your clothes before you go to work? Let them know that you need a raise. Go in there in tattered garments and clothes. Don't bring a lunch. Let them know that you're hungry.
So, you've seen a group of disillusioned young people at their 30s, 20s. So much disillusion. People are living in a state of hopelessness. They don't know whether they'll get the meal, tomorrow's meal. People are eating free foods, and it's not their liking. It's not that they like it so that they do that, okay? It is because the nature, it is because the society that they are existing at the moment makes it really hard for them. Now, what do I have to say about this? My opinion in this is one. A person who wants it good for them, you can try relocate. You can try relocate. You can save up your money, go to a different country, and start life. Especially when you are at your 20s, when you are at your still early 30s, even at your 40s, you can always start life. Start somewhere. I won't recommend you any country or any place to go, but just do your research. Find a place which is more accommodative to you. It could be Africa. It could be somewhere outside Africa. You never know. So most definitely, you can start by relocating. You can try find a place that favors you. A place maybe that there is so much farming which is happening. You can do agriculture. You can start your life somewhere in the suburbs where housing is not expensive. You have access to clean water. There is no noise. There is nothing. Everything is peaceful. With a little money saved, you can start life from somewhere. And I know it's hard because this is an illusion that they gave people. They sold it to people. And that's how it just happened. Most of the things we are unable to control because it was an illusion that was given to us. And the elites have made it so hard to the extent that it has affected the prices of goods and services, hence inflation. They'll always find new ways of exploiting you. They still the same people who are enjoying monopoly. So the only way to deal with this is just getting out of those places, just trying to find a new place, find a place that you can start afresh, a place where it's not expensive for you, where you can sustain yourself, right? So it starts with that. 2, you can start investing in cryptocurrency. I know probably this is a topic that most of people don't want to talk about or don't want to share with you, but yep, you can always start from there, because when the currency it's losing its value, it's rendering itself useless. The next day you can't buy what you bought with $5. The next day the same price equates to $20. What are you gonna do? The store of value of this currency is decreasing tremendously. So at least with cryptocurrency, you can find yourself at a place where you are able to store your value, not to lose it through inflation. You have full control or full access of your funds. There is nothing like banks defaulting with your money, which has been happening, especially when we're having economic crisis in our country. So, but the most viable way of dealing with this is just getting out of those places. Try somewhere new. Especially when you're young, you can always start from somewhere. That's just a piece of advice or something that I would like to share with you, that I think that it will be helpful to a person who is listening to me, a person who is watching me. Try learn more about cryptocurrency, learn what's trending in the market, what you can buy, and just look what you can leverage on. Look what works for you, look what's best for you, and look what you can keep and look what you cannot keep. So it just happens that way. You have the chance of still changing what's happening to you. You have to make the action. I'm seeing people complaining, people coming out talking much, complaining about how the high standard of living and everything. But just know that those are just complaints. People are not taking any action. So, amongst other things, there are a couple of solutions that a person could give you in regards to this. But I've decided to offer you that. So I hope that this is helpful to you. I hope that this serves you right. So Tell me what you think in the comment section about this video. These are a couple of young people, probably at their 20s, late 20s, early 30s, a few 40s, who are going through these problems. So tell me what you think about this in the comment section. This is your presenter, Eugene Doc Stories, and if you're watching this video for the first time, I'll ask you to subscribe to the channel. I'll ask you to join my membership and really get to see what I can offer you. Until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.